homicide and criminal activities in different localities in the country has left citizens raise concerns about their safety. Among other cases, the Gambia Police Force said police in Bansan have responded to reports of an alleged suicide in Dobonkunda, Sierra South, where a man identified as Mohammed Sano was found hanging from a tree in the bush on Saturday evening, April 5, 2025. In another incident, the police also confirmed a reported stabbing incident in New Yundum on the same day, which resulted in the death of one individual. Now, to help us understand what is the latest update about these incidents and others, we are joined on the line by the Police Public Relations Officer, SP Modu Musa Sisao. PRO, thank you very much for your time, and we understood that investigations have begun on the reported cases. Well, what more can you tell us about these incidents?
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me. You're quite right in your introduction. Last few days has been, days full with such incidents. They starting with the Sami Puchunki, where a report were received by the Gambia Police Force, and we responded to reports that a person has been found to have been hung or is hung in the trees there. And it was also reported similarly that we have a similar one at Dobonkunda. And also on Saturday, we have the stabbing case in New Yundum. For the Sami Puchunke case, investigation has actually started in all of them. For the Sami Puchunke, I know currently we've had so many theories. There has been reported audio going around indicating that the man indeed has sent an audio because there seems to be, he was invited to meet certain people in the bush where, he said he was told that he would be killed, and then, that he was allowed to send his last messages or something like that. So in that line. But again, like for the Gambia Police Force or for the police in general, we actually went with what we saw on the ground. When we found a man who was hung on the trees, and we are also with the fire and rescue services who also came to support this, and then we took the body to Bansang Hospital and eventually to Banjul before it was released to the family for the burial. And the police at this moment is getting into the matter because it's also important to track certain things, possibly the mobile phone, the calls, the calls log, to be able to collaborate some of these things. So this is happening as we speak. And our working diagnosis for now, or our charge for now in this case, is the fact that it's a suspected or it's an alleged suicide. And that's what we are working with. Okay. And hopefully maybe before the end of the week we'll be able to have a conclusive decision on the investigation, to be able to tell the public what it is about. And for the Dobonkunda one too, this is similar. It's in the bush too. We found, but unfortunately or fortunately, we also got information that is someone who is not mentally stable, and that is also put into consideration. But again, what we see so far in the investigation is that it is still an alleged suicide. That's what we are working with too, until we are able to get more information. Because when it is actually a suicide or somebody have been killed and it is staged, it's totally different, because there are so many things. Even on the physical presentation of these people, you would be able to see the struggle and all the other stuff. So it's I think it's an easy one for the Gambia Police Force to be able to determine whether it was actually a suicide or it was a stage one. And so the third one that happened was the stabbing case. The stabbing case, two boys, or because they are in their early 20s, 20 and 22, who were reportedly found to be, arguing altercation and fought, and one of them stabbed the other one in the chest, leading to the death of that person. So the police were informed about this. The police also responded and took the body to the hospital, where it was confirmed that actually the person had died before arrival at the hospital. Then the body was transported to the mortuary. And the other thing about this is that it is reported that the suspect, Usman, took himself to the police station, because there were fears that he would have been attacked and maybe killed before, the intervention of the police. So he reported himself to the police, and police are also looking into this. And hopefully, let's see, before the end of the week or early next week, we will be able to get back to the public as to the update as far as these cases are concerned.
Oh, all right. Well, Piero, following the recent incidents, the public are said to be worried or concerned about their safety. What would you say about these concerns raised by the public?
Yes, I would say that the Gambia remains to be a very safe country, the environment, because we want to look at the worry. What is worrying people is, the number of people who are dying or who are involved in criminal activities or who are allegedly been murdered or died. And we also need to look at the circumstances in which this incident occurred. That's one thing. But also we need to understand that, because people are with the opinion that it's not safe and all that. I think what is happening of recent is that information, access to information, easy access to information is getting easier and faster, as the day go by because of advanced technology, social media. What happened in Basse, within seconds it will reach Banjul. What happened in any corner of this country within seconds, and also the fact that there are so many people on the social media in terms of journalism, in terms of getting information or giving out information. So it's easy for people now to know what is happening in the four corners of this country. And that might prompt the question whether actually this is really, the number of cases that have been reported. But as a police force, we receive statistics on a daily basis as the crime record in this country that have been reported. So as far as we are concerned, yes, we could say the number of deaths. Indeed, the number of deaths, there seems to be an increase, but crime in general, no. Second part of it is the fact that look at the circumstances in which this occurs. For the ones that are murdered or alleged murder cases, usually it's between family members, friends, colleagues. You understand? People who have relationships, who know each other, who are in business, or the likes of that. Going back, let's flash back as 2024. The last quarter of 2024, we have seen incidences like. So you remember the friendship hostel? I think we had two incidents last year, friendship hostel, where a man and a woman went there and one of them died. We also had the incident in Basse where a boy and a girlfriend, also the boy killed the girlfriend, and abandoned her on the street. We also had the incidents in Bantang where a Marabu was visited by family members reportedly. Two of them, they went out with him and he was found dead later. And we had another incident in Brikamoba where a husband and a wife, the wife stabbed the husband, and the husband died. Coming down at Kombo equally, we had incidents where a sister and a brother, where a sister also stabbed a brother. So what we are trying to say is all of these things in one way or the other are domestic violence related. That results to, this kind of crimes or criminal activities, murder, and you name it. And to say that it's not safe, I'm not safe to be in the Gambia and all that. And I am sure you and I and many others wouldn't put themselves in certain position or in situations. Yes, we understand, come the way we said in Gambia, it's not what is intended, quite sure. But again, it's important to clarify this, that it's not that just, because you can be on the street and somebody can just come and stab you just like that. We are also aware there are incidents where, thugs, thieves would also attack people in the night or lonely environment to be able to steal from them their belongings, phones, bags, and the likes. But in general, I think we have to be, look at everything collectively before making certain assertions or before concluding the fact that, okay, this place is not safe anymore because X, Y, and Z is happening. So there are so many other factors that we can look into before we actually conclude with that. So it is my opinion that no, this place, the Gambia is safe and the Gambia Police Force is doing everything possible to maintain that and to ensure. And part of that is also that we used to have our weekend patrol, night patrol, and now we have extended that not only on weekends, but we do it on a daily basis from Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And And it used to be at night. Nowadays, it's not only at night, but it's also in the day, in the afternoon, in the night. So it's continuous police presence around public spaces. But it's important to note that the police, security is everybody's business. The state will provide security for the public to ensure that the people can go in and out about their businesses. But it's also an individual commitment. Your personal safety is primary and it's upon you. So it's important that upon each and every one of us as individuals that we take note of the 6 safety tips that the Gambia Police Force would always share on their social media and sometimes at individual level and at the station level. And we also have the community policing that is going across the country. Just last month, they went up to Basse, CRR, LRR, across the country, to see how best they can be able to work with community members, community leaders, to be able to see how best we can collaborate together to provide security for their environment, for their communities.
Okay.
So this is what is happening, sir.
All right. Not long ago, the police have vowed to crack down on criminals in this country to control, the issue of crimes and related matters in the Gambia. Now, tell us, is the police also working on to find out or look into the causes of these reported alleged murder cases and the increase on domestic violence?
Yes, I mean, it's actually difficult because, for example, when you talk about domestic violence, what is the possible cause between a husband and a wife? What is the possible cause between a brother and a sister? What could be a possible cause between two friends, who just argue and based on after the argument or argument resulted to, a fight and stabbing each other? Sometimes it's actually difficult to say this. What led to this. But like I said, it's important that people understand it's harmful and it's not safe to be armed in public because, the moment you have a weapon on you, you think you are preventing yourself. Before you know it, you become a victim or you become a suspect. Because when you start arguing with somebody and you start pushing and pulling and, Gambia and being mean, they send the Nalare, and they just because and I think people should do away with such kind of things because your actions sometimes are motivated by your words. And I think it's very important that we put this. There are instances where it is clear cut. These are the factors. Remember last year, when we had the coups incident here, that pandemic, in the Gambia, every now and then stabbing, killing, and there was that correlation between because when they were arrested, some of them who were even suspect, and some of them who were also victims when they were taken to the hospital because post-mortem is done, medical certification is done. There seems to be, something that is happening, drug induced whatever, and that was identified. The Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the Ministry of Health, and all other stakeholders came together and to see how best we can fight this. The government did a very wonderful job there and brought all of us together and gave us the resources to be able to go on a countrywide tour, sensitization, and not only that, but also be able to work with the National Medical Laboratory to be able to analyze this data and be able to, wherever such a case is reported, they will go, sample will be collected, and I think this paid dividend because through that action, or we are able to cope, and we can safely say now there's no cause in the Gambia. But recently, what is happening at this moment, we have seen the stabbing, people fighting, but also we have also seen people hanging themselves. And it's difficult sometimes to say, okay, what is the Gambia Police Force doing about this? Because, like I always say, the police provide security for the public and in the public, and the public, somebody's house, somebody's compound is not public. The police only comes to people's compound when actually there is a report of an incident or suspect illegal activity taking place there, and this is what is happening. So we would just want to also emphasize and also allow or ask us as Gambians together, because the police can't do this alone. One mandate, or the most core mandate of the Gambia Police Force, is to provide safety. That's the protection of life and property. The protection of life and property is to be able to provide that environment where people can go about their businesses, do their businesses and all that. But in the event that whenever that is not possible in certain instances where a crime is committed, then we have to investigate. Then we'll investigate, we'll apprehend. And when we apprehend, we prosecute. And when we prosecute, we give it to the court. The court decides the rest of that. So, and I think it's important for us to understand that. I am aware, we all know there is no country that is crime-free. There is no country that is crime-free, and people need to understand that, it doesn't mean that some of these criminal activities are not taking place in the Gambia at all. They were taking place in the Gambia, but currently the level at which, collaboration and information sharing is also happening in this country is unprecedented. How many media houses are here? How many social media, actors are in this country? And also, even the Gambia police force, in terms of proactiveness in coming out to the public, telling them this is what is happening, this is the report we have received, this and this and that. And I think in the morning I had also calls from other media houses that are saying that it's also important that because you are saying you have always been posting and sharing that we've arrested, this has happened, but the outcome of that, we also want to know the outcome. People who are arrested, at the end of the day, what happened? And not only that, but also statistically to be able to tell us. Because when we are saying that, okay, no, the perception that crime is in the increase might not be true, then what is the justification? So yes, I was quick to say we will work with our command on this. We've already pledged since last year in December that 2025 we will be able to come up with statistics to be able to give to the public and also compare previous years or previous quarters of the year. For example, the first quarter, now we are in April, the first quarter of 2025 and the first quarter of 2024, to be able to, send something out there that can be tangibly looked at scientifically and so that there is increase or there is reduction.
All right. Well, Police PRO, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate the latest